Welcome back to From Fear to Fun, the podcast where we explore how to transform medical encounters with children from moments of fear into opportunities for fun, with connection, confidence, and cooperation. I'm so glad that you are here. Today's episode looks at a subtle but powerful dynamic that shapes every medical conversation: the hierarchy of knowledge. Doctors know, patients don't. And this imbalance, even when unintentional, can quietly undermine trust, communication, and cooperation. Let's unpack how this hierarchy forms, why it creates friction, and how we can soften its impact. Why do doctors and patients clash? At first, the reason seems simple. We know, they don't. We understand anatomy, physiology, pathology. We can interpret symptoms, predict trajectories, and propose treatments. To many patients, especially children, this knowledge feels almost magical. It gives us enormous perceived power: the power to diagnose, the power to treat, the power to grant or deny healing. Even if we don't see ourselves this way, they often do, and that interpretation shapes the entire encounter. Another layer of the hierarchy is structural. We know exactly what will happen during the consultation: the order of the questions, the examination steps, the likely outcomes, and the next decisions. The child, however, has no idea. We lead, we talk, we decide. How much time does the child and the parents actually speak compared to us? This imbalance naturally pushes them into passivity or fear. When one person holds all the knowledge and all the structure, the other person becomes quiet, cautious, compliant, or overwhelmed. Children especially may see us as powerful strangers. Fear becomes a logical response. And yet, despite all these obstacles, something remarkable happens. In practice, I'm often amazed by how frequently children do trust us. Despite the hierarchy, despite the fear, despite the imbalance, children are astonishingly open to connection if we meet them with warmth, clarity, and respect. But the hierarchy still creates challenges, especially for parents. Parents often hesitate to ask for clarification, even when they desperately want more information. Why? Because the hierarchy tells them, the doctor knows best. I shouldn't question them. I don't want to look ignorant. And this leads to poor understanding, poor engagement, poor buy-in to treatment plans. The plan becomes our plan, not theirs, and a plan that doesn't belong to the patient rarely succeeds. The hidden cost of knowledge. Knowledge is power, and power creates distance. Children and parents feel powerless for a reason. The hierarchy is real. But once we recognize it, we can soften it by inviting questions, by slowing down, by giving the child a voice, by sharing the script of the consultation, by treating knowledge as something to share, not something to hold. When we do this, the hierarchy becomes less of a wall and more of a bridge. In a nutshell, doctors and patients clash because knowledge creates imbalance. We know the body, the process, the plan. They don't. This hierarchy makes children passive and parents hesitant. It leads to poor understanding and poor buy-in. Knowledge is power, and patients feel powerless for a reason. Recognizing the hierarchy allows us to soften it and to build genuine partnership. When we share knowledge with humility and curiosity, we transform the encounter and help children and parents to move from fear to fun. Thanks for listening today to From Fear to Fun. Next time, we will see how the mere fact of being sick affects the child's and the parent's ability to partner with us, because being sick might be perceived as being guilty. Until then, remain curious, offer connection, and keep moving from fear to fun.